Great day, great life, great now. Beautiful, vibrant soul family. I don't know the words to say, but I've been guided to share this message. And Michael has not shared Michael's story. And I'm going to be sharing much more of Michael's story because I realize the importance of Michael's story. Because there's so many people going through so much right now. Because we are in this beautiful collective reawakening. And if you've ever looked at your own transformative process, whenever you're about to break through something, some kind of distractions come our way. Whether you're going to meditate, you're going to start this meditation practice, maybe you're going to let go of an addiction, maybe you're going to let go of an abusive partnership, maybe you're going to let go of an abusive relationship with your employment, different things like that. Maybe you lose your job, but you see that there is a reason why those things happen. So without lessening what's going on in the world, but activating the truth that the collective ego is attempting everything that it can to distract the collective from its own self-realization. And I want to take you back 20 years ago, even 25 years ago, even 30 years ago, when Michael was lost, confused, and just full of anger, full of rage, full of violence, both self-inflicted and on others. Addicted to meth, to marijuana, to cocaine, to alcohol, even though he didn't like alcohol. I mean, he liked alcohol, he didn't like beer. Yet, people-pleasing, trying to fit in, gang-banging, showing people how tough Michael was, being a one-man army, being betrayed by everyone around him, being left alone to handle his own. And Michael thought he was tough. Michael thought he was powerful. But here's what that is the reason why we're sharing this. Because no matter how many people are in your corner, how many people are not in your corner, every one of us feels alone. When we don't know who we are, we feel alone. No matter how much we try to appease and we try to soften the blow, we try to soften that pain, we try to soften that anger, we try to soften that sadness, that guilt, that vengeance, that rage. And we hear a lot of things happening about the immigration and things of that nature. And here's the thing, what it really comes down to is the law of the mind. There's a governor here that is being reflected out here. This is why when you reawaken your own relationship with yourself, with God, Source, Universe, and you get acquainted with that presence, with that beauty, with that essence of who you truly are, more and more this does not affect you. See, Michael went to prison from the pew, from doing the thing with the Christian church. And I'm not trying to put down Christianity, please. Do not mistake my words. I'm talking about trying to fit in to try to do something. And it didn't work out. Michael did not resonate because Michael could not transform the thoughts that were in here. Michael would ask for forgiveness. Michael would do the thing. But it was like right straight back to the drugs, straight back to violence, straight back to this. And Michael thought something was wrong with him. And then from there, he found more peace and more sanity in insanity. Because at least insanity kept it real. Crazy people said, I'm crazy and I don't give a heck. Instead of people trying to fake because they're acting like they're okay on Sunday, but throughout the week, they're a whole different person. And you know what I'm talking about. When you go to an event, when you go to Sunday service, and you leave the service because you don't follow you. All of a sudden the world is more powerful than God when you leave the church. And I've seen that time and time again. I've seen it in our own family. I've seen it in the relationships around us. And yes, it's good to put on a smile when everybody's watching, but when nobody's watching, where does that smile go and why? And then from the gangs, proving Michael to the gangs that Michael was loyal and true and faithful. But betrayed the one self that was more faithful than anything. And then from there to the coaching field, entrepreneurship, finding a relationship, but still not being enough. Coming full circle to this moment right now, where presence is more than enough. Michael's existence, there's a purpose, as your existence is a purpose. There's no accidents. So why do I say this? Because the greatest prayer you can render is your own self-realization. Because when you reawaken the truth of who you are, you become a powerful tuning fork. And your prayer is life, is your existence, is your example. Instead of just praying in the morning, praying at night, praying when there's a crisis, praying when there's, or meditating when something goes wrong. Or doing the spiritual work because you want something to change. Instead of doing the spiritual work because you're grateful. Instead of praying because you're grateful. Instead of doing the mantras because you're grateful. Because it is a part of you. It's not something that you're trying to and everyone starts somewhere. So I'm not downing anyone. But what I'm inviting you is, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you're waiting for the world to change. I'm even hearing about the words of martial law. Whatever happens is going to happen. You can't stop it. We can't stop it. There's a plan that was ordained much more prior to our existence. But the question is, what is your relationship with you? If you get quarantined, what is your relationship with you? What is that going to look like? When the electronics go off, what is that going to look like when you have no distractions? Maybe when there's food shortages. If you're not intermittent fasting, if you're not doing intermittent fasting, you're not preparing. And it's not even preparing for a doomsday. You're preparing because you know that intermittent fasting is good. Our ancestors fasted for days because they barely seen food. We can do this, family. And I'm not saying starve yourself to punish yourself. I'm saying just trust that your body will be okay and bring it back online. The other thing is, how do you treat others? Because that's going to reflect when you are only by yourself. And you don't have to wait for a quarantine to happen. When you go to sleep, that's your relationship. You can't run from yourself. And you endlessly distract yourself throughout the day. So whatever happens, this is my point. Whatever happens with Michael's already lived life. Michael is grateful for the life he got to live. Because the dash of Michael's life from the birth and the moment that Michael leaves, it was full of chaos, crisis, conflict, pain, suffering, victimization, wanna be somebody, not knowing who Michael was. But now that Michael surrendered this noise, this distraction, this hypnotic state of wanting to fit in, wanting to stand out, wanting to save, wanting to fix, wanting to heal, wanting to serve, but yet not serving the very source of life itself by not honoring this temple. Not just by what you eat, not just by what you drink, not just by what you say, not just by what you do, but more importantly, by what you vibrate. What you vibrate when no one can see the thoughts that you're thinking. What you vibrate, what no one can feel, what you hide inside. What you vibrate by what you breathe, and you tune into the pulse of life itself. Not by doing, but by surrendering. And when you surrender, the doer will follow. Because the doer is the servant, not the master. But for so many of us, the doer seems to be the master. So if you're ready to take your life to the next level, not really. If you're ready to live the life that's waiting for you at the highest level, at the purest level, at the most potent level that's already here, to vibrate this tuning fork at the highest oscillation, that the people around you, the experiences around you, the environment around you meets the presence that you are surrendering to, and you witness presence all around you, then this message is for you. Vibrillionaire.com. We have one-on-one containers. We have group coaching. We have community building. We have free support. We have whatever tier you need. We're there to support you. Until then, family, send this message and share this message far and wide. Because the more we look outside to change, the more we look to do outside, to perform, the more we're pretending, because we are projecting, and we are rejecting our very own truth. And I'll give you a scripture that encapsulates this to the degree of what we're speaking right now. Whatever happens is going to happen. But Yeshua, that a lot of people call Jesus, Yeshua, the person that embodied Christ consciousness, the vessel that embodied Christ consciousness, by surrendering the persona, by surrendering the identity. That's why he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one cometh unto me. No one cometh to the Father but through me, which is I am. And he also said, renew your mind daily, die and be born again. And when thy eye becomes single, thy body be full of light. When thy eye is single, there's no personality. There's only presence. And the last part is this. Oh, and be still and know that I am God. Be still and know I am is a statement as God. Be still and know I am God speaking. And it's speaking through us all. The last part that I want to say is this. And there's so many others that said the same thing. Buddha said, let go of all traditions, all concepts, all beliefs, all attachments mentally, and you will experience life beyond what you can never even imagine. And we're barely getting the taste of it. Yeshua, and I'll quote Tesla too, because I'm going to be sharing a lot more on this. We're going to be dissolving the illusion of separation by projecting this deeper presence of truth, which Tesla said, the day when humanity can study non-physical phenomena, energy, frequency, and vibration, the emotional states, the thought realm, all these different things that we transcend, it will make more progress in 1 decade than it has in generations. We're seeing this with AI, but we think we can't do that? Do it with yourself, because your stories, your personalities are artificial intelligence, because there's an intelligence underneath that transcends all perceived intelligence. These are mental projections of intelligence. We see it in nature, we see it in the universe. So the one thing that we want to share is last. Let's say Yeshua, let's say, an alien from another galaxy comes to save the world. Are you even going to be in the resonance of it? Because Yeshua said it so beautiful as Christ consciousness. He said, it doesn't matter how much you've served in my name. It doesn't matter how much you've preached in my name. It doesn't matter how many demons you've cast out in my name. Blueprints, patterns, programs. If you have not loved, I do not know you. Depart from me. What Yeshua the Christ is saying is, if you do not embody love here, then the field can't recognize you. The field is waiting for you to recognize the field by dissolving as the field. This is your call to action. This is your invitation to drop in, to surrender, to return, to dissolve, to disappear, and to be replaced by your true self, your God self, your universal self, your I am self, and to deliver from a deeper, devoted depth of dimension, of frequency, energy, and vibration. And this is what the collective ego fears, because it wants to think it's separate. That's how it's existed. And for thousands of years, we've seen what the head in charge does. Monarchies, patriarchies, political, all of that, military, all of that. We are about to unveil the truth underneath all delusions, where it's not about masculine. It's not even about feminine. Let's get the feminine rising. It's about presence that serves when both of those surrender. Equal and one. Not one above the other. Not one more justified to do the other. Because, oh, the pain and the trauma. These are stories that the ego uses. Because look at your own self-transformation. If you don't find harmony within yourself, you'll never find harmony outside. I'm going to say that again. If you do not unveil harmony within you, you will never experience true harmony out here. So this is an invitation to join us, because we're barely getting started. This is the Vibrillionaire, Vibrillionaire X, I Am Presence, Revolutionary Life, inviting you to get off the bench of spectatorship, welcoming you to remember your true place, and mirroring to you that you are whole, complete, and perfect beyond your wildest imagination, but you're projecting that you're not. Are you ready to remember who you truly are? Thank you. This message is not from Michael. This message is from the field. And it is you, as the field, speaking to you, from you, to all. Honor the field. Or, in layman terms, let's bring God back to country. Let's bring the universe back to earth. Let's bring the kingdom of heaven, which is the unknown, to earth, which is the known. Just like we do within ourselves, we bring the unknown to be known, and we project that from the heart. This is the I Am Presence revolution. This is not about performance. This is not about pretending. This is not about persona. This is about presence. And if your life was to be over today, let's just say there was a comet that just destroyed the world right now. Can you say you lived? If your freedom was stripped from you right here, would you be able to handle it? And let me tell you, the deeper truth is when you embody presence, you become a field of immunity at such a depth when it's true that the world outside can't touch you. Because the world outside is only a projection of how much your mind, your ego, individual mind, can touch you. A projection of the ego, collective mind, is a projection from a fractal as a fractal, because it's all the mind of the one. From the heart that pulses, I am. From presence that is supreme, that all surrender and bow to. Are you ready to surrender? Are you ready to dissolve? Because when you do, your life doesn't have to change, but everything in your life becomes much sweeter, much more savorable, much more satiable, much more surreal. And you realize that this mental version was a virtual hologram, a virtual projection. But when you live embodied, you realize that the greatest life has already been being lived. And it is you, it is I, it is all of us as one. Thank you, everyone. And until then, we are here to surrender together, to return together, to mirror and dissolve as one. I am. Until the next time, remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember who you truly are.